it's not just the department store that's dying, it's the whole mall. We keep hearing that Macy's and Neiman Marcus and Kohl's and Nordstrom are in trouble. Well, no kidding. Every one of these department stores is frankly a disaster area. They've been struggling for ages, though. But like so many other long-term trends, the pandemic threw fuel on the fire. Neiman was dumb enough to borrow $6 billion in order to take itself private in 2013. These leveraged buyouts have been the kiss of death for so many retailers, and now they're about to file for bankruptcy. Macy's is trying to borrow $5 billion to save itself. Bond salespeople are incredible. Normally, they can wine and dine anyone into buying almost anything. But department store bonds during a pandemic, that might be a stretch. Although they pulled it off with another chain that's now too small for me to mention on TV. That said, I think you'd have to be crazy to buy department store bonds unless you're confident Macy's can get its hands on some federal bailout money. I ought to know. I sold a ton of bonds for the old Macy's when I worked at Goldman Sachs, and that version went bankrupt a few years later. Kohl's just borrowed $1.5 billion so it can stay closed, but they had to suspend their dividend, which was one of the few things that the stock had going for it. The issue here, why bother to open at all? We've lived without Kohl's just fine. We just didn't even need them to return our stuff to Amazon. You can get pretty much everything you need online anyway, usually for less money. And Nike, direct-to-consumer, that's a great way to get it. Kohl's Cash? Monopoly money? Nordstrom's problems were a bit more surprising. It's a high-end chain with excellent service. Then again, the late Bruce Nordstrom told me that as great as his customer service was, Amazon's better. Who might I argue with him? Ask yourself, do any of these chains have a raison d'etre? You know, like Sart? Not any more than the old indispensable department stores like Lips, where my mom labored selling women's lingerie, or Gimbel's, where my dad was fired for selling gabardine trousers. Those are all obvious dinosaurs. The problem here is that the quarantine crushes the good operators and the bad operators alike. We knew we didn't need the department stores, but now the pandemic's making us realize that maybe we didn't need anything in the world at all. This morning we learned that Sycamore, the leveraged buyout king, is trying to get out of its deal to buy Victoria's Secret. Makes sense. You can't try on bras when the mall's closed. Anyway, wouldn't it be better to try them on at home? Just guessing. It caused the P&L brands to get trashed, down 15%. VF Corp and Tapestry both saw big number cuts today. PVH noted the same thing when CEO Manny Chirico on the show came on not that long ago. He's a real good operator. The mall is filled with stuff we don't need. I remember when the Cherry Hill Mall first opened. It was one of the first ones, an indoor palace, a paradise that generated tremendous excitement. My grandparents lived across the street from it in October 1961. Oh, I was there, store after store, one after another, shopper's paradise. It was unique, stunning. Then they put up hundreds of malls like Cherry Hill, which ultimately killed the golden goose of uniqueness. Malls became homogenized, mediocre commodities. Oh, sure, they tried to go more experiential. I love the mixed-use concept embraced by Federal Realty. I think that can work in a normal environment. But I read a note last night about EPR Properties, formerly one of my favorite REITs, saying that it collected only 15% of April's rents. The experiential economy, shambles. Movie theaters account for 45% of the deadbeats because it's hard to pay rent when you're not allowed to do business. Again, movie theaters were on their way out anyway, though, right? Too expensive, too limited, too noisy. Candy's so expensive. Better to watch a movie of your choice via Netflix on big screen at home. Other malls try to save themselves by leasing to experiential office like gyms. But nobody wants to go to a shared gym during a pandemic, although the Georgia governor thinks it might be a good idea. The general consensus is that they're major coronavirus incubators. Franchises even. Pet stores maybe had a shot until Chewy came along with some much-needed online competition. Only two kinds of retailers are working here, the ones that have enormous scale and sell essentials, or the ones with fabulous digital businesses. That means Costco, Walmart, and Amazon. I think Home Depot and Lowe's make it, and Target, too. But that might be it. Aside from the off-price stores that can buy all the excess inventory created by this retail crash, no matter how hard they try, all of Treasury's horses and all of Congress's men couldn't put the Humpty Dumpty of retail together again. I know there are tens of millions of jobs on the line, the pandemic's real financial casualties, but perhaps, alas, it was just a matter of time anyway. How about Doug in Texas? Doug!
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate you what you do for all the little guys out here.
You're welcome.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
I've watched it since 1998.
Wow.
And I remember your stories about living out of your car. And I think I picked Citrix up in 1998, living out of my car, trying to be a stockbroker.
Well, boy,
what
I
do
tell
you
you the
think about
truth,
it now?
you picked up something good. Now, they're about to report, but I've got to tell you, April 23rd. Why do I know that? Because that's my mom's birthday. And Citrix, I think, is an absolutely fabulous stay-at-home trade. If it comes down, I'd buy it anyway. Let's go to Emily, and thank you for the kind words. And live in your car, you save a lot of rent. Emily in Washington. Emily.
Oh, booyah, Jim. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
I love your show and read your books.
Oh, thank you.
My question is General Dynamics. Their stock was doing pretty good, and then it took a big dive in March and slowly starting to rise. And my question is, how do you see them poised as a technology company, and do you think they have the ability to innovate in aerospace and military?
Yes, I really like them. I like the military side. I like the yield 3.3. And get this, I like the private jet side. Why? Because everyone's so afraid to fly public. And I keep saying, listen, if you can make it so that they got the ultraviolet and you clean it up and the stuff with the mask and the temperature and stuff, I'm a flyer, but people think I'm a crazy man. I need to go to Vaiti in Washington State, where they got down first and clamped COVID. Vaiti.
Hey, Jim, a big Seattle booyah to you. How are you doing today?
I love Seattle. I love it there. All the smart companies in there. You ever notice?
We're about to flatten the curve here. So
I know, because you got a great governor and you got great people. What's up?
All right, so I wanted to get your opinion on Brookfield Property Partners, which is a limited partnership, and just the sector in general. BPY, I like them because they have some iconic retail and office assets. Also, the pandemic offers some real opportunities to scoop up high quality assets at bargain basement prices. But then there's also the downside of the big leverage, which is further exacerbated by the fact that rent from tenants might dry up.
I know.
Even though they have strong liquidity.
It's run it's really run by a very, very smart group of people. I mean, really smart. And I want to say that they can pull this out. They are very smart people. It's not my cup of tea because I don't like real estate here other than the beach house that my wife bought. But I understand the rationale. All right, the mall is simply full of stuff we don't need. Only retailers with enormous scale and essentials, or of course off-price and great direct-to-consumer, are going to really prosper here. Hey, much more Mad Money ahead, including my exclusive with a company up more than 20% over the last month. Which company is thriving amid volatility? I'll reveal the name when I sit down with the CEO. It's a little surprising. And I'm chatting with a man who's seen 6 financial recessions over his career in finance. Why does this one look a little different? And all your calls rapid fire in tonight's edition of the Lightning Round. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.